Hi, my name is Sarah and I am 36 weeks pregnant and I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes probably about 8 weeks ago. And this is my video of the 10 things that I've learned after being diagnosed. So we'll just jump into it. So the first one is the unproportionate amount of carbs I ate on a regular basis. I'm not really a meat lover, so I used to eat just a lot of carbs, and I was very happy about it, and I didn't realize what kind of effects it had on my blood sugar. And now that I have to look at how many carbs I eat for every meal or every snack, I've realized that I was really going overboard. And so the next thing is how often and how much I was eating. So I would eat, I would have breakfast, then I would have a post-breakfast snack, and then a pre-lunch snack, and then I was just consistently eating. And now I have to specifically designate, this is going to be my breakfast, this is going to be my snack, and I have to wait in between each one and not just consistently graze. So that was good. It's teaching me to be disciplined, but it was kind of a shock to how I usually would eat. The other thing, number 3, is I realized how my decisions can change my numbers. So the really good thing is that there are controllables. I can control how much I'm eating, I can control what I eat, and I can see the effects on the numbers. So even though it's not the greatest thing to be diagnosed with gestational diabetes, it is comforting to know that there are things I can control. So that's helpful. Number 4 is I learned how to be intentional about what I eat. So if I want to eat something, I'll have to either categorize it as this is going to be my meal, this is going to be my snack, and once I'm done with it, I'm done with it. So it really did teach me what is worth it and what's not worth it. I could either eat a little bit of ice cream and that will be my entire snack, or I can have something that's going to be a little bit more filling but not as much of a treat. Number 5, I learned when to stop eating. So I used to just eat and then keep eating. So it'd be like a pre-dinner snack and dinner and then a post-dinner snack and just consistently eat. And now I have to eat, finish eating, and wait 2 hours to check my sugar. So I can't keep snacking after I finish eating because the carbs won't be digested in time for me to test. And once I test, if the carbs aren't digested, it's gonna elevate my numbers. So that's taught me discipline in that area. I have to decide what I'm gonna eat and when I stop eating, and that's it. Number 6, I have come to realize what foods have been helpful and which ones are harmful. Down to, it could be the same food, but if it's prepared differently, it has a huge difference on my numbers. Sweet potatoes are great. When they're baked, they're a little bit higher on the glycemic index, and when they're boiled, they're lower. So if I have a baked sweet potato, it's going to elevate my numbers more, so I'd have to eat less of it. Also, things like bread. White bread really drives up my numbers. The best one I found is sprouted grain bread. It really helps. Like, I can have sprouted grain bread, not in excess, but a decent amount. I usually do about 1 slice, an open faced sandwich, and that's actually been very helpful. It keeps my numbers nice and in the ranges, and I still feel like I can have bread. I don't feel like I have to eliminate it. The other thing I've realized is how activity can help. So I work sitting down out of computers, so my activity levels had really diminished over the years. And they taught us that by just taking a 10-minute walk after you eat, you can actually help improve your numbers, because it helps the insulin that you do have be more efficient in putting that glucose into the cells. So just by taking these walks, I've noticed how the numbers change, because if there's a day I can't take a walk, I'll eat the same exact thing and the numbers will be different. Number 8, the wonders of apple cider vinegar and cinnamon. So apple cider vinegar before meals, before going to sleep. Sometimes I'll put it in my water. Cinnamon tea. All those things really have made a difference on my sugars. Like, I've been tracking them religiously, so I know what makes a difference and what doesn't. The cinnamon tea, I had to hold off on it until recently, because when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to really have cinnamon because it causes contractions. Now that I'm getting towards the end of my 3rd trimester, I'm not as fearful or careful about if it does give me contractions or not. But apple cider vinegar, cinnamon, they really do help with the blood sugars. And number 9, I don't feel deprived. I just feel more disciplined. So a lot of people will feel sorry for me because I can't have sweets. I can't eat as much as I'd like to at one sitting. But the good thing is, with the amount of fats and proteins I am eating, I feel satisfied. I don't feel like I'm deprived and I can never eat something. And if I really, really want a taste of something, a taste of a cookie or a taste of ice cream, I'll take 1 or 2 bites and I get it out of my system. But I think it just teaches me to be more disciplined. And then number 10, it gives me really good motivation. So when you get diagnosed with gestational diabetes, they will tell you that if you don't keep your numbers within ranges, there's a bunch of risks. The baby will get too big. There have been cases where if there's too much sugars, the baby will be stillborn. So that really motivates you to stay within your ranges. And you just learn, like, okay, is it worth it to binge on something or eat a lot of sweets if it's going to make, cause problems for me and my baby? So that really helps keep you on track. So when you're questioning if you should eat something that you really shouldn't, and it's going to really drive up your numbers, you kind of have that in the back of your mind. Going forward, after I give birth, there is a chance that I will not have gestational diabetes anymore, and that will probably be helpful, and that'll be relieving. That would really be comforting. But I think that I would like to take what I've learned and continue applying it. Probably not as restrictive as it's been, but I do like how I've been feeling, my energy levels, and I like what I've learned. So that's kind of my experience. There are people that are going to have different experiences, but those are my 2 cents. Thank you.